Well, my YouTube friends, it has happened. According to the gracious Spider G, I have been cited for doing art too darn well. And for my crime, I must share more art. So I hope you enjoy me yapping about my characters while I draw them for you. So, for anyone who is new to my channel, I bid thee welcome. I don't usually script anything, so I hope you don't mind my little rambles. But all the same, welcome and enjoy the artwork. So, first of all, welcome to my channel, and anyone who is new here, I'm a Colorado author and artist, so everything here is drawn and written by me, and I hope you can enjoy the slight insanity I have to dream up whatever it is I'm drawing or writing about. So, enough of me yapping, let's get into the art. And for today, I'm going to start with one of the main characters, Fable. Now, when I first started writing, I didn't start with Fable herself. I started with the Fox Drakes, which are now more companion characters than the main characters themselves. And Fable herself here actually went through a lot of redesigns, rewrites, all up until I have her to where she is right now. To start off with, she was an old lady. She began as a grandmother telling stories about myth, the world that she grew up in, until she met Brendan and all that fun jazz. So, Fable has been a really interesting character to play around with and see where her character finally landed. I knew that I wanted her to be a potion maker because I don't see many potion makers in stories themselves. So Miss Fable is now a elf who was born at sea and had fallen in love with the idea of making potions to help people, and she left her home at sea on her family's ship called the Story to come to the mainland and become an apothecary. And Fable is actually really skilled with the apothecary skills. It actually earned her to be recognized by Ashling, who's the guardian of herbs and healing, and that was a huge deal in the village at the time, because Fable is technically an outsider to the village of Darnacy, and everyone in the village was expecting a different person to become a guardian, or a keeper as I call them. I think she was supposed to be a keeper of fortune telling, but it was supposed to be Lark. In the first book, she's Fable's rival, more or less, and Aisling had chosen Fable and thus made things a little interesting in the village of Darnacy. While people recognize Fable for her skills as an apothecary, they don't really accept her as a keeper, which is a little sad, and it does affect Fable a little bit. She's still skilled, and she doesn't mind not having the full title as a keeper. She just wants to live out her life in her little cottage and make potions. But then again, that is where fate had taken a turn, when one of her potions had brought a vision to the whole village that an enemy of old was coming back to myth, or coming to myth to cause problems. And she is encouraged by the Fox Drakes to go find the people in her visions to hopefully save myth. But I won't share any more on that because that would be spoilers, and nobody likes spoilers. But speaking of spoilers, allow me to divulge a little information about Fable's history, specifically her time at sea. Let's see, I don't think it's a huge secret that she was born on the ship The Story, and her crew was basically her family. Let's see, the oldest members of the crew would be Wicker, who is a gnome, and he is the, what is that member of the crew called? The guys that take control of the cannons and the gunpowder. He's that guy. Then there's the Striker, who is a Fadelad, a Irish or Scottish werewolf, and his name is Luch. At least I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Luch or Luch. Let's see. Next would be Kazi. He's actually a Storm Djinn, and he is close friends with Fable's mother, Meadow, while Luch is close friends with her father, Sprig. Sprig being the captain and Meadow the first mate. And then there's the two newest members of the crew, which would be Sage and Click. Naomi approves. Click is a field kobold, and Sage is another elf. So it is a very motley crew aboard the Story. Oh, and there's one more member of the crew, and that is the Story herself. She was actually built out of wood that was once attached to a dryad, and no one knew that at the time. So now there is a little ghost cat that wanders the ship, and she keeps the rats down, which is very handy when you're off at sea. But yeah, that is the crew, and that is Fable. I don't know what else I can add, since I don't want there to be spoilers. So until the next video, if people enjoy this one enough, I will make another video of another character. So I thank you for listening to me yap and Naomi cackle as I talk about one of my characters from my book, Guardians and Keepers of Myth. So I hope to hear from you guys. Which character would you want me to go over next? Let's see, I got the humans, which is Brendan and Nicolas. Then there's Kyrie and Creek the Satyr and Atrix. So go ahead and go down below to the comments and just tell me who you want to know about next, and I will do a yap video about them. Thank you all for listening, and I'll see you next time. Bye!